Alrighty, we are back, and it has come to my attention that I have just been using night vision Mark 1 for a while now, so we're going to make some perfect night vision glasses. And we are going to be putting them on and looking like a badass. I don't know if they're... Oh, they're better than nothing, but I don't know if they're better than this. I'm not sure they are. They're supposedly better. I don't know. I'm not sure if they really look better. It's hard to tell, though. It really is hard. Anyway, either the sun's coming out or these glasses were awesome. So we're just going to run with that. So this episode is about time we got iron done. It's about time we got some iron pumping off the line. So we are thinking mega base here, of course. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off the debug log for this guy. Stop delivery timeouts. Yeah. And you know what? We're going to make that a huge number. If something's going wrong, I do not want it to be lost in the mists of time. I want to know about that shit. Let's just double check. We've got chain signals going into all of these crazy intersections, which is good. So all of that stuff is working. All right, so let's go and have a look at iron. Now, this is not iron for the sake of uranium. This is iron for the mega base. We are going to be building a proper iron setup. So we need a lot. This is looking like it's not bad. We got here and we got there. We got coal here. Coal's not too bad. It's all right, you know, but I'm not sure. Coal is really not something we need a lot of for anything. We will need probably a bit of coal for military science, but that's not a big deal. The main coal vein we are going to need is for plastic products, so we'll need to keep an eye out. That's why we left this coal, because that's going to be for that plastic products. This coal is kind of wimpy in comparison, so I feel like we can just ignore that completely. Just absolutely ignore it completely. So if that's the case, then we got iron here and iron here. And I think, so we're going to save this for steel. This is going to be steel over here, because we need a lot for steel. I feel like these two are going to be pushed together and iron. And we're going to make this a huge, big logistics network. Yeah, I wouldn't mind pushing it out somewhere else, but I'm not sure where else to go. Like, this is a nice area right here for iron, these ones. But you got to remember, we need iron gears as well. And I definitely do need a station for iron gears. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open my spreadsheet. My spreadsheet tells me how much we need, but unfortunately it doesn't take into account other things. So, for example, it says we need almost 2,000 iron per minute. Is that right? Yeah. Are you sure? Am I sure? No, I think that's 2,000 iron per second. It's got to be per second. Yeah. So, 2,000 ore, 2,000 iron plate per second. Yeah. But that's including the amounts we need for iron gear wheels and steel plate. And we can deduct those because they're going to be built separately. And we can probably deduct the amount we need for electronic circuits as well, because they'll be done separately. So we take that into account. Let's do some quick maths in my spreadsheet here, which I've got off the side. So, okay, so we got 1940 is the total. Iron gears is 271 iron plate per second. Steel is 724 iron plate per second. Electronic circuits is 547 iron plate per second. So if we take this guy minus these three, it comes off with an invalid value because Excel doesn't like me. Oh, because I didn't do a sum. Sum. Okay. So we need 398 raw iron plate per second, which is half the amount we need for steel, and still half the amount we need for steel, less than we need for electronic circuits, but more than we need for iron gears. So if that's the case, we need a crap ton for steel, but we need more than we need for iron gears. So if you have a look here, this is... I'm not sure about this. I'm really not sure. And I'm not sure if we're going to actually make electronic circuits on site. That's still not something I'm sure about, to be completely honest. Because there's a couple of places we could do it. Like this area nah, not sure I like that. Not sure I like that. This has got a bit of mix of copper and iron. I'm really not sure. We might... This might kill our train network, but we might just create iron and then have a separate section for electronic circuits and send stuff off to it raw. Like, create the plate on site and then send the plate via the train network to where we build electronic circuits. Because the other way requires you to have a certain combination of things. And it's hard. Like, this would be good, but it's reversed because we need more copper than we need iron. So it's very hard to do it there. And I can't really see a place where there's tons of copper and about 2/3 iron to match that copper. Maybe over here. Like, this section is perfect. Absolutely perfect. But that's... I'm not sure if we're going to extend all the way over there. So, for now, we need iron plate anyway. So we might as well make it. I feel like let's just do this. Let's just do that. We'll make a proper station. We're not making a flimsy flim-flam station here. We're going to make a proper one. And... yeah, we can always change this guy later on. If we have to, if we need to. Okay. So, first things first. Once again, cut off the middleman. Now, the station is based off a T, so we need a T first. With some dodgy signals. But that's fine. As long as we don't put the T's too close to each other, we are going to continue to be fine. So yeah, like we would probably fit a T in here. You can see these little dots are the blocks. So we've got a full... no, we don't really have a full block here. We got a full block here. So I could destroy this bit, put a T off here, then we got a full block, then we got a full block, and then we got this. So, now we need station. Now, we have a look. Oh, this is not good. This goes out wide. I keep forgetting that this shit goes out wide. Okay. Cancel. Cancel. Alright, we gotta rebuild this. I keep forgetting that this shit goes out wide. So UI radar. That was where you were. And that was where you were. Rebuild all that stuff again. It doesn't matter. We waste nothing in this game. No, that's the depot. We do not want the depot. We want station. The station which curves off horribly to the left-hand side. So, somewhere in there is where we need it to be. So put it down. Okay, so we stand here. Yeah, we got enough breaks above there. Absolutely. So, cut that down. Give me a T intersection, please. No, that's an S. Give me a T. Should really start clearing out my inventory a little bit. The blueprints in particular are getting out of control. But it's all good. Now, go to mainline station. Now, excellent. Not hitting that iron. Not getting close to that iron, which is good. And this is pretty good. This is a pretty good setup. So yeah, for now we can just have one station for getting in iron, but we can definitely expand that later on as much as we need. We can probably fit 8 on here if we actually wanted to. But yeah, for now 1 is good. Fingers are starting to ache up again. Too much playing. I did like 4 episodes of Soul Zero, and even though that's better than Factorio in terms of the W, A, S, and D key holding bullshit, it's still, you still have to do it to move the monitor around. Man, I really wish I could find a game where I don't have to press like any, like hold down any of the keys or hold down any of the mouse buttons or anything like that and still have it be awesome. But it's hard to find games like that. It really, really is. And I'm definitely feeling a bit worse about Fortress Craft because that's even worse than Factorio when it comes to having to hold down the keys. Because so basically it's a first-person shooter because you're building stuff. And first-person shooters, it's like Doom 4 is the game that originally gave me my tendonitis. Like that, my fingers were already pretty crappy at that point. I just didn't know it yet. And then Doom 4 came along with its awesome everything. And I was just like, oh, I got to play the shit out of it. And of course, that's what boned me completely. I just went nuts. I think I played the whole game in like 2 weeks or something like that. And after that, I was like, my fingers are hurting. This doesn't feel good. Yeah. So, iron ore. 01. Do we really need supply in front of it? Supply. I feel like it's not too bad. Yeah. Because that differentiates it from the things coming in. So the inputs, I suppose. So let's go ahead. So we're going to need some warehouses, some requester warehouses to be specific. Oh, look at that. We need some iron. Of course, we need some iron. We need some warehouses. You are full. 30 warehouses. Give them all to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, single-sided loading. Do we want double-sided loading? You know what? I think maybe we do want double-sided loading. If we're going to have double-sided loading, then we do need to use these. I mean, this is iron, right? This is something we're going to be using a lot of. So yeah, okay. Double-sided loading. Get him in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out is definitely what we want to do. Oh, too far away. And all good. All good. So you are going to be iron plates. And yes. Of course, this setup at the start is not going to be the greatest because, yeah, we're not going to have smelters with speed beacons in them. We're not going to have tons of really good stuff. You know what I'm talking about. All of the things that we usually have that are really awesome. Now, before I copy and paste this, how close can I copy and paste this? Huh. I could potentially do that. Really squeeze it in. The only downside to doing that is going to be fitting these guys in. So if I do you right there, I do this right in there, it fits. It still fits. Okay. So, up on the top, just before the first pole, just after the next pole. Excellent. And now you go down. Which one do we want to go from? I reckon we'll go for this one first. And then power it up. Power it up. And then it's mining time. How many, do I have any mines still? They've been pushed all the way down. Now this is where we start to get crazy. Absolutely crazy. So let's have a look here. So I'm going to start there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think I did that right. out like that. Passive provider with a single free slot. A single free slot. This is to encourage the guys to take from all of the machines and not just one. Okay. Now, in future, when we actually do this with speed beacons, we are going to remove every second row and we're going to fill it up with beacons. And those beacons are all going to have speed modules in them and they're just going to be nuts. Absolutely nuts. We can fit some stuff up there as well. So let's rotate you. Get one there, there, and there. And there. Okay. And there. And there. No more fit. No more fit. Okay. Start trimming this off again. All these mines. Oh, I should have had the... Stupid me. I should have put the power pole in the blueprint before I just whacked it everywhere. That was dumb of me. That was very, very, very dumb of me. Okay. That's alright. We can still fix this. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we do this guy. Get rid of everything but the power pole. Pop it up the top, 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 and up the top. Moves it up there. All these guys start working. I knew there was something missing because I was trimming stuff up and I'm like, where's all the power poles I'm supposed to be trimming? Can't see a damn thing. Alrighty. Now we gotta get around, make sure we suck all of these guys in. That one manages to get everything. And then we need a third guy over here. And you guys need some power because somehow you're missing out on all the power poles. Alrighty. So there we go. The good thing is all of these are single-sided. Okay, so this is this. We're gonna want to keep as much of this space free as possible for more stations if we need them. So what we're going to do is we're going to push out this direction. Now, this is where we get this template in here. Now, the beacon's already on this template, so I'm going to leave them there. But, I'm going to leave a bit of space. And go like so. And that is a stupendously small amount of what I expected to come out of this recipe. But anyway, let's find some things. There we go. Let's get them. And since we're here, we might as well put the beacons down. We're going to need a bunch of you as well. Beacons. There wasn't that many beacons? Should have been. Should have been. Did I have that chest set really, really, really freaking low or something? Maybe I did. Oh yeah. Anyway, base 1.5 is going to be where that really, really, really starts to shine. So, you need to be removing that and that. What we do here is we're going to need to rejig some of this stuff, but basically blue, 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 blue. And we have this set up. And these guys need to be rejiggered as well. So this is how we want to do it. And this is going to be, again, single thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That. Now, let's have a look and see if we've done this correctly, because do that. I could do it even further. Okay. Let's do it a bit further then. I think this will work. So we do that. Reach across. So I don't like having that little line in between. I had that in my last mega base and I did not like it. So you know what? We're just gonna remove all this extra crap. Yeah, it's nice, but we're just gonna remove it. So there we go. And then we can have it beautifully on either side. We can also have it's going like that. Gets all of these powered. You don't really need power poles down here to power the other side because go away. It sort of takes care of itself if you've got things on the bottom side, but you don't really care about that too much. So yeah, that's the deal. So these will have productivity modules eventually, and these will have things. I think they've got speed module 3, so we might as well just leave them like that at the moment. But the point is, this will be iron ore. 200. Excellent. And now we just need some robots. And this is going to be one of the first bases where we actually really start throwing the robots at it, because you need a fair amount of robots for this sort of setup. So we're going to start off with 1,000 and see how that goes. Okay, so that'll start producing that. Now we need to duplicate this a fair bit. I'm not worried about the beacons, but I do want everything else to be okie dokie and getting on with it. Okay, so that should be very sweet. That should be a lot of stuff. What are we missing? Beacons and modules. Excellent. Don't care about any of those, but I do care about everything else. So here we go. Look at all of those bots going, man. Oh, look at all of them. We're using every single bot we've sent over here so far. And this is where robot speed and robot cargo capacity will help as well, because that'll really, really allow these guys to get out there. And all right, so we're starting to back up a little bit now. We're starting to not need it. It was just the initial rush. Okay. I haven't got the requesters set up for this. All right. Need to get that set up as well. That's definitely 100% necessary. All right. So let's do the math here. Each thing stacks up to 100. Oh, that's right. Let's go ahead. Destroy. There. And then there we go. Get rid of that crap that's in my inventory for so long. So yeah. So each train thing can store 4,000. Each cargo wagon can store 4,000. Ah, my poor knee. So if each one can store 4,000, what does that mean? Each one of these should have 500, because that'll give us a total of 6,000. Yeah, I feel like that's a decent compromise, because we wanted it to be a bit more. Want it to be a bit more than the minimum, so that if we get out and then another train comes back in, that we've got a backup. Now this is built for like long term. If we were planning on having a rush of trains coming in at one point and then going nuts and getting a whole lot of stuff out, then I would make these higher and I would make these higher and so on and so forth. But for now, I'm going to see how this goes. We may need to make this higher, so when there's downtime, we can sort of back up more iron But yeah, I'm not sure about... Like I said, I don't like backing things up because it hides real problems. It sort of... Yeah, if you have a big rush, you might survive it once or twice because you backed up. But if you have a big rush and it just continues on a big rush, then basically you upgrade the throughput, the requirements on your base, and you don't notice it for another 2 hours because you had such a big backup everywhere, and the backup just keeps adding on station after station after station. This one's backed up, so it requires longer for it to run out, and then when it runs out, it goes up to the next station. It's depending on, and that station's backed up as well, so it can take hours to figure out there's a problem, which I don't like. But now, since we're not backing up, that'll make it a bit easier. Okay, so this is going to be a fill the train completely sort of deal. Now we're going to have to hook all of these guys up, which is the downside to using the small chests. You have to hook them all up, but in terms of the space we'll save, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. 1, 2. Oh, we're out? Really? Okay, so we go like that. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least you don't have to shift click everyone. That would be a nightmare on me fingers. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alrighty, what do you got so far? 8.4k. So you need 16k to be viable, don't you? So what do we need? 16,000. Done. And we should be able to go over to here. And now we get ourselves some text. As we do, put it over on the right hand side. As we do, or the left hand side, sorry. No, don't want it to be on that one. I want it to be on the... Oh, headed over to the power pole, actually. That makes sense. So, you are iron. You are 16. 16. You are this one. This is actually going to produce a total of 24, isn't it? We need to make this double. So if each thing is 400, this should be 8. Unfortunately, 8k divided by 12 things is not that easy to figure out. In fact, I think it's 8k divided by... Fuck, I don't know what it is, but it's hard. It's like, I think it turns out to be a fraction. Like 8k divided by 12 is 2k divided by 3, which is a fraction. So screw that for a joke. We're not doing that. We'll just do this, and yes, it means that we'll end up with 24k over 16k, which is fine. So did we hook this up? I'm not sure that we did. I can't see it being hooked up. No. Stop hooking things up. God damn it. Friggin' go away. You've got yourself hooked up to like pretty much everything. Are you hooked up to this? Now you are. Oops, that's not what we wanted. Nope. Bad. Oh, no, that's not what we wanted. Okay. Alright, let's get it up there. Let's get up there, 16k. Okay. So now you are 15 out of 16k. Now you are providing stuff. Bots are good, except for this guy, which I picked up. Excellent. Always know when there's one missing that it's my fault for picking the bloody thing up. Half of these are not running. And all of our smelters are running, so once we get speed beacons and blah, 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 and so on and so forth, then everything will be looking a lot better. There we go. 16k. So we got a train sent out. Look at the train go. So yeah, so we're definitely going to run into throughput problems if we got a whole bunch of trains coming out at the same time. I'm hoping that creating multiple depots all over the place will help solve that. So we're not just going to expand that one depot, we're going to have multiple ones. So we jump in you. 15,999. Come on, 16k, you can do it. Why can you not do it? Ah, because these ones at the back don't have anything. That's the downside, actually, of doing this, because it fills up the front chest first and the back chest last, and you end up with uneven bits. What am I saying anyway? We should make this exactly even to what we need it to be. So if you're 500, you are 2,000. Maybe we don't need these guys. It requires slightly slower loading, but I think it will be better overall, because what is happening here is we're actually counting those extra chests at the front as part of the amount. And what that means is it thinks it's got enough to fill the train, but it actually doesn't, because the things down the end don't have enough. And so it gets in and the last few containers don't fill up, which is bad. So we want this to be exactly 16,000. Exactly 16,000 is the most it can ever get up to. And now we have done that. And it's in a smaller amount of chests, granted, but as we said before, you can't divide 16,000 by 3 in any shape or form. Okay, so what do you got now? It's not telling me. You got a lot. You got a lot of that stuff. So now we got iron fully punked out. It is beautiful. And this will hopefully work. Of course, these guys are going to be slow as. That's just something we're going to have to deal with. I mean, these guys, because they got all of the productivity bonuses, they are doing all right. But these guys are just not that fast. Not that fast. Oh, starting to get tempted to do level 3 speed modules in the base 1.0. I know it's a bad idea though. We're still soaking up so many resources just doing this stuff. It's like, oh, look at all those greens, look at the reds backed up, oh, look at all the blues backed up. We could totally do it. And the base would die so quickly if we even thought about doing that. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to rely on this. But we are going to make base 1.5 right over here in this big empty area, and we are going to make that our #1 priority. Getting base 1.5 running off the mega base, and yes, making it good. We could always expand the amount of smelting if we need to. In fact, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. It's not like it's ever going to be a bad idea to have more smelting in the future. Let's double it. I mean, this stuff, the furnaces, I feel like we can afford to just build more of those. They're not that hard to build. We've been building them for purple science for freaking ages, so. Are you the right one? I feel like you might be the right one. Yep. You're all good. Okay. So what are we missing here? The usual. Okay, don't care about any of those. There we go. So the robots will come down. Bloody always picking up this crap. And that'll basically double our smelting potential for this base, which should allow it to fill up a lot faster. And we will start using it. I still don't know if we're going to have green circuits receive their iron and copper from off the train line, off the mega base, or if they're going to make them locally. But I have a feeling they're going to receive them off the train line, and we're just going to make this thing huge, like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 lines or something, assuming that we can keep up with it. But once we get modules and once we get speed beacons in the mining and once we start getting infinite research on the mining productivity, I think we should be able to make a pretty good crack at keeping a lot of stations full. Definitely, definitely. And just think, this is just the little guy we're mining, and he's being used now, but he was already being backed up. So imagine once we get the second one, which is even bigger, up and running. I think we should be able to go. And if we start running out, hey, let's go over here and make another iron base. Or let's go over to somewhere else, over here and here and here. Let's make another iron base whenever we need it. We just do as many as we want. The base is infinite. The map is infinite. Sorry. Okay, and we're almost filled again. So that's it. That's I'm not going to say our first real station, but it's awesome. Oh, look at that. Iron plate. Why do you need iron plate again? Oh, you got some sort of deal where you need 32k. Because we doubled it. So we said 2 train loads. Yeah, that's fine. It's going to use it as slow as... How did all these guys wake up? I suppose we have been using up a fair amount of fuel. Sending off a fair amount of fuel. This guy's backed up 1k, 1k. So they're all backed up, but I'm guessing... It's probably used up a lot somewhere. I can't tell anyway. It's probably used up a lot, and then a lot of these are less empty or less full than they should be. There we go. The train. I can't tell if that had to wait. I don't think it did. Let's assume that it didn't. And let's just pretend we're happy at the moment. Well, we are happy. I'm pretty happy. Even though my fingers hurt. So I'm definitely going to take a break. Oh, last but not least... Today, radar. We're going to be careful because this might be really, really close. So we're actually going to take that off and put that like there. So we don't block. We want to make sure that we can continue to build stations up and down without anything else blocking them. So there, and then teleporter. You are iron ore. Zero. There we go. Getting a nice list of teleporters here. So we got home, advanced solar home, depot 1, water, uranium fuel cells. Sweet. We got all sorts of awesome stuff going on here. The water's pretty cool as well. We kind of need a station here for setting up uranium. Of this stuff, don't we? You know what? That'll be one of those cases of we'll fix it when it needs fixing. Because right now, I'm going to go off and I'm going to do something that does not involve playing Factorio and probably doesn't involve playing any computer games. I think I'm going to take a bit of a break, watch a video, do some non-computer related stuff. I don't know what non-computer related stuff I can really do. It's like reading, but that's like reading the help file instead of actually playing the game. That's boring as shit. So I don't know what I'm going to do. To be honest, I just don't. It's computers or nothing for me these days. And when you got tendonitis, it's a very, very sad state of affairs to be in. But you got to deal the cards that you've been dealt. How's that saying go? Anyway, we're done. Thank you for watching. And if I cast another video today, feel free to come around to my house and hit me over the head with something. But yeah, I'm not giving you my address because the internet's full of creepy, crazy weirdos. So maybe that's not going to work out the way I think it is. Oh, what's this button? Distance from the player. Whee. Anyway, distance from start. Alphabetical order. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you guys later.